and begin. Do you have it set to record?
Yeah.
And what channel is it on?
MSNBC.
Drive this.
Did you ever find Animal Planet?
It's from Taylor. From the creators of Shrek.
What?
Did you ever find Animal Planet?
Yeah. That's what it
what's
is.
on?
Yeah. Can you turn it on a little bit?
Yeah. Aw, did you like Animal Planet? Huh? What channel was it? 861.
Introducing
Gotta remember that. 861.
I asked him if it made a difference. I don't know if he couldn't answer me.
Aww. I'm so sweet. Did you like all those animals on there?
the self-reliant designs to life. Each handset ring in the Airway Love collection is my non-interpretation of timeless essence. Like all the most beautiful cities around the world, the ring should take her breath away. The Airway Love collection. And now it's ring and Jared.
That's safe line. Yeah. How busy your life can be.
Another subject is made coming acting on the way or force it goes in favor of the Trump administration rather than against them, which an uncertain opinion is likely to do. But I don't think logic is prevailing in the White House or in the Justice Department these days. They're not getting good legal advice. They're not following subtle, sophisticated legal proceedings. They're just trying to win. Winning, they end up losing in the end. If, in fact, this is a risk to American national security. He needs to get a new order in place now.
Thanks so much, Adam Dershowitz, who says it's possible to see a reversal of fortune here. Here's what the Council of the President, Kellyanne Conway, just said about today's ruling.
We have an excellent case when it comes to the actual merits, and the merits were not mitigated, the merits were not decided upon today.
Joining up and Margaret across on the daily basis, and also Jennifer Rubin, who watched the books. The other one, somebody want to hear is mixed now because I think I like presidents to be strong. Even this one, I think we're always worse off with a weaker president. I think the courts have gotten into somebody else's marmalade here. You start talking about policy of which countries this target and which ones not to target. These judges don't have any confidence to do that. They may have a legal right to move that way, but we'll see. Margaret across.
But the strong president has a roadmap of how to write a new executive order. I agree with the professor. I went to law school and he's going to get them.
You see this ruling, how wide it is? He basically said it has to do with that due process. It has to do with, everybody is a person. And they didn't even ask about people so constantly. They say everybody involved is a person that we can do.
This rule is as wide as the executive order was wide. And if it's narrowed and it's written more carefully and there's some supporting documentation, tell us why the extreme vetting that
I think somebody gets talking about the so that with any piece of paper that is filed.
Read that up. I'm saying going forward, he doesn't want to stay. He wants to say, oh, now I have my team. I'm going to write a new order.
Judge Sessions help him out.
I mean, it's a unanimous decision on this San Francisco-based court. The Republicans are now attacking. The White House is now attacking the George W. Bush appointed judge. Who did not dissent on this. He was part of that opinion. And so I think that makes it harder to undercut. I mean, you can't be a strong president. You can't be a strong president just with bluster. You have to be competent as well. You can't just undo your executive order because you get a memo.
I think the court ruled that these 27 countries that we should worry about particularly because they haven't attacked this yet.
Well, I don't know why the court is not do that, but I think they said they do have a right to consider the statements that Donald Trump and his associates made about
Jennifer, I can hear you chuckling or whatever. Get your thoughts about this because I think the judge has got into the policy area. Your thoughts?
First of all, this is a case of extraordinarily bad lawyering by the United States. I could not agree more. That rather than look at judges, you should look at the Justice Department. They made mistake after mistake. They included green card holders. Never should have done that. When they modified it, the president didn't modify it. The White House counsel wrote some little memo. They broke down. When they had the opportunity to present evidence of irreparable harm, and that's where the 7 countries come in, by the way, we can talk about that in a minute. They didn't do it. This is atrocious lawyering, and I heard that was done because they were not in the loop with the White House because it was rushed or for whatever other reason. But I think redrafting it would not only give them an opportunity, but give them an opportunity to get better lawyering here. Now, the reason they went into those 7 countries was not just because of an abstract policy issue. That was because they had to make an analysis of irreparable harm. What the government didn't do is show that they would be irreparably harmed. They practically pleaded with them, give us something, tell us something. And all they had were these 7 countries that they knew had not had terrorist attack, but they pleaded with the government, give us more. They didn't.
Well, this is September 1st, 2011. They could have said Egypt and Saudi Arabia have been sanctioned yet. Therefore, how it went right if you got to ban people from coming there. And had they banned it from coming there at that time, it might have been Chris. So I just don't think judges can predict the future.
Maybe they could have put Saudi Arabia on this list.
That's what there's a judge.
Now, there's
The judge can say that, and you can say that, and I can say, but the president gets to say. That's the question, because he has to protect, or she, if we have one, has to protect the country. But they're not really talking. I don't like to be president, so I don't think anybody gets to be president. But we'll see.
Well, I mean, you promised throughout the campaign he's going to come to Washington to shock the system. I mean, this is an example of you don't just do it by coming here and doing whatever you want. This is system.
You think that about this chance?
I think he sees a way in which it's helpful. I don't know that they want it. I don't know that they want it, but I think they see a way with this outcry. They see a way to attack the judiciary, attack the media.
I think
they're just saying yes. They love attacking.
I think that's the structure of the system that part of the old like Senator Margaret Carlson. Thank you, my friend. Thank you. I'm really impressed with your writing about the man and things up to. Jennifer, you're something. Thanks so much for coming on. That's hardball for now. Thanks for being with us. We'll have continuing coverage throughout the evening tonight, of course, at MSNBC. We're into this one. All in. I was going to say, it's appropriately titled tonight. Starts right now. Good evening from Chicago. I'm Chris Hayes. We were, of course, meant to air a town hall tonight exploring the challenges facing this city. We taped that town hall earlier today. It will now air tomorrow in this hour. The reason is that because tonight we have big breaking news.
So start on.
Unanimous ruling by a federal appeals court against President Donald Trump's travel ban.
Best news ever!
Put in place by a lower court last Friday. Instead, this decision keeps that restraining order in place. In other words, it blocks President Trump's executive order nationwide and continues to block it as a lower court found. We've already got a response. The president himself posted on Twitter in all caps, quote, "See you in court. The security of our nation is at stake." And joining me now from the White House, briefing room, NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Kelly Donaldson. Kelly, what's the response like there?
Well, Chris, this was an unusual series of events because typically with a ruling of this magnitude, something that affects an administration, a new administration, there would be an official statement from the office. It was a tweet from the President of the United States, as you just indicated, and a couple of us were reading around trying to see if there would be any additional information. And I turned the corner, a door opened, and the President of the United States came right out. I said, "Hello, Mr. President." He stopped. He was willing to take a few questions. Other colleagues joined us, and we had a back and forth with the president who was more than willing to talk about his views, and they were, of course, confident hearing what he tweeted. We have a little excerpt, audio only, no camera, and this is our conversation with the President of the United States.
So you believe the judge will have a situation where it's a country is at stake, and it's a fairly serious situation. So we look forward, as I just said, to receiving.
So, and do you think this has undercut the early days of your presidency? This is such a important.
This is just a decision that came down, but will be in the case.
And you confirmed with your new Attorney General on this tonight.
It is a good decision.
How did you have this?
Just like it is.
Yeah, and you just
But it's a decision that will win, in my opinion, very easily.
And are you
and whether we want that decision.
Are you a person to the Solicitor General who would speak on behalf of your
I make the decision on whether to Solicitor General.
Okay. Jackson and I, we were the two questioners there, and we covered the topics that I think are really germane to this issue. There is a new Attorney General who will have the responsibility for carrying out policy that relates to immigration and would be advising the administration on matters like that. That is Jeff Sessions, who took the oath of office today. Interestingly, the president had not at that point had a conversation with Attorney General Sessions about this issue. He told us that he learned the way we all did through news reports. And in addition, I asked him about the Solicitor General because as the president is previewing that this is going to continue to be a matter in court, he has a vacancy in that top job for representing the United States before the Supreme Court, the Solicitor General. So it's a bit of news there that he's saying that he plans to make that announcement. And of course, a major part of his comments, believing that they can be successful in court, calling it a political decision, which is very notable, and saying kind of again and again that he was confident. Now, to give you a sense of his demeanor, since we had a chance to assess that, we don't have a video image of it, he was very relaxed, more than willing to stop and talk, was not walking away from us, and wanted to get this message out. So unlike what we might have seen in administrations past, where there would be an official crafted statement, it was by tweet and by hallway conversation that we learned the views of the Trump administration on this very important night. Chris?
All right, Kelly O'Donnell, thanks for that. Really appreciate that update. Let's go down to NBC News Justice correspondent Pete Williams. Pete, can you give us basically the thrust of what these three federal appellate judges unanimously found?
Yes, and I have a couple of points to say here. First of all, Chris, this is what is called a per curiam decision, meaning by any individual judge. It's for the court. So, you may ask, why did they do that? It's a unanimous opinion. Perhaps they want to express that it's from a court, not from individual judges. So that's one thing to note. Let's step back and see how it got here. The states of Washington and Minnesota sued. A judge in Seattle said, I think you've got a case here. I'm going to agree to put a temporary ban on enforcement of this executive order. The government went to the appeals court and said, please lift that stay. Let us enforce the order. And the court today said, no, we're not going to do that. And it said, we're not going to do it because we think the states have